Alright, good morning, welcome to Norton Disney. I'm set up on Hodgetts lake, I think you pronounce it. It's their newest lake that's opened. It's their kind of runs water. Been here since last night and it was really quite slow until probably about midnight, and I ended up having 3 through the night. So I've got a bit of footage of those which I'll add in after this. So you can see they're only small in here, they don't go very big. But yeah, I just thought I'd come down here, check out the new lake and see if we can get some runs. And the right hand rod just peeled off, which you probably saw at the start of this if it's come out on camera, because I saw a few roll on there, so I thought it was only a matter of time. So I set the camera up and waited. And yeah, and that rod just melted off. Lovely little mirror. Seems kind of typical of what they are in here. I think they do go over 20, but I think there's in here, but I think there's only a few of those. They're mostly low to mid doubles. The idea is for this lake, I think, is there to be that out and out runs water when it's fully open, because it's not fully open yet. There's only 3 swims on the lake currently open, and I'm in the middle of the 3. There we go. Absolutely beautiful clean fish. Not a mark on them yet, because I'd imagine half the fish in here probably haven't really seen a hook if it's not been open very long, and there's 850 fish in here apparently. So they're all immaculate. Some scaly ones in here as well as these plainer ones. Right, let's spin her around, have a look at the other side. Make sure the fins are flat. You've got to be careful with these new fish. Well, you've got to be careful with all fish, but especially young fish, because they can get damaged so easily. You've got to be extra careful, especially with their mouths, because you don't want tatty fish. They've been put in here, beautiful condition, so you've got to try and keep them that way. These are going to grow big in the years to come, I'm sure of it. It's going to see plenty of bait, these lakes. There we go. Lovely little fish. Nice way to start your day. So this is fish number 4. I did lose one as well, being barbless hooks, but yeah, hopefully we can get a few more. I'm here until tomorrow. So let's see if we can get this spot going. Slip this one back and we'll get the rods back out, shall we? Alright, so I've just slipped that fish back and we've got the rods back out on the spot. So I thought we'd just have a little chat about how I'm fishing this session at the moment and a little bit about the lake. As I say, I'm on the brand new lake at Norton Disney, which is Hodgetts. I think that's how you pronounce it. Sorry if I'm butchering the bloke who's the lake's named after his name. But yeah, it's currently running on 3 swims, all on this one bank. The other side isn't fishable at the moment due to some snags that they haven't been able to clear yet. Their plan, I think, for the complex is to try and have it fully open, all the swims, by next spring, which will be really good to see because it'll help keep the fish moving around the lake and it'll stop giving them places to hide up, which is what they were doing yesterday. I mean, the wind was absolutely hacking into that far back corner. There's 3 swims over that side, but there are 3 of the ones that aren't open at the moment, and there's no way to get anywhere near them. It's several hundred yards over to the other side, and they were just showing like crazy out there. I mean, you could really tell there's a lot of fish in this lake. But they were all over there. I hardly saw another fish anywhere else on the lake show, and I think the people either side of me were struggling a bit as well to get a bite, and it did take quite a while. I'm fishing all 3 rods out to one spot in the middle, 17 wraps straight at the swim on the other side, which has got a little life buoy next to it. It's a fairly deepish spot. They said try not to go too deep in here, but that is the one area that I did see a fish show in. And then took quite a while. I put 15 spawns out ish when I got here, a mix that I'll go into a bit of detail later on with you. And yeah, it was getting into dark by the time I had the first bite, and sadly as I was then netting that hook pulled. It was quite a small fish. I'll probably scrape a double if that, and they're going to have really soft mouths at the moment, being brand new fish, and it's barbless hook rule on here, so you're going to lose a few sadly. But yeah, so I got that rod back out on the spot. A couple more spots over the top of it just to top it up, and a few hours later I started to get a few runs. I didn't weigh any of them. I think the biggest was probably 14 odd pound, maybe, getting on for that. So Not a bad size. I think they do go 20, as I said in here. I think there's a few fish I saw on the website, maybe I think the biggest is 24, something like that, and they're going to keep putting the weight on. So say they're new young fish, they're going to be greedy, and once all these swims are open, I bet they're going to be seeing a hell of a lot of bait, so they're going to really pile on the weight. So yeah, we're here till tomorrow. It's looking good for it. I keep seeing the odd fish roll over. They're still long behind my spot, but they seem to be, with this wind swinging around, they seem to be pushing a bit closer, and hopefully the bites will start to come a bit quicker, because as I say, it's been quite slow so far. But I think it'll definitely help once all those swims are open, so that if there's wind, people can go around there, and that'll just help keep the fish moving around the whole lake. Yeah, fingers crossed we'll have a fish to show you soon, and if not, we'll go into a bit of detail about the bait and rigs that I'm using on this session. Alright, so it's been about an hour since we slipped that fish back. This time the left hand rod's away for fish number 5. It's another chunky old mirror. Came in, I got really confused when I was bringing it in, but I think it had a tower as well. So I've got another line here which I now need to sort out, which isn't one of mine. It's been a bit funny in the net. Got a bit of damage on his fin from where it was on that other line. Which I'll sort out in a little while, give it a good treat, but there we go. Fish number 5 of the session. That's all the rods have now done a bite on that spot, which is pretty nice to know. It's looking better for it now. The fish are starting to creep this way. You're starting to see them show closer, so right, let's spin him around. Have a look at the other side. These fish scrap so hard. They're so new and they're just so full of energy. It's got a few marks on this one. I think it must have been towing for a little while. There we go. Nice looking fish. Right, I'll just treat this one and we'll slip it back and then get the rods out. Alright, so here we go, fish number 6. That didn't take very long at all. I hadn't even got the other rail rod back in after showing you that last fish. I was then sorting it out to go back out, and the right hand rod was away. This one kited right round to the right. I had to go down the bank a bit to try and land it. But yeah, came in easy. Probably one of the smaller ones yet. Hopefully we'll try and get amongst one of the bigger ones before long. There we go. Another pristine mirror. I don't know if we've got many commons in here or not, but they've all been mirrors so far. But yeah, I saw a couple of fish as I sat on my bed chair just sorting out that rig to go back out. Splashing me like mad in this water. I saw a fish rolled not far from that spot, so I thought it wasn't going to be too long, but yeah, some lovely scales on the tail of this one. One for the future. They're all very angry coming in. They've got a hell of a scrap. I thought this was going to be a bigger fish the way it fought, but yeah, got a bit of a mark on this tail. I'll just give that a treat before we slip it back. But yeah, it's going well. Hopefully this carries on. I've put a bit more bait back out. Got 2 rods back out there now. I've just got the other rod back out while I sorted out the camera as well, so we've got 2 back out there. I'll sort the 3rd and see if we can get another one for you. Alright, so I've just slipped back number 6, and I thought I'd just talk about the rig that I've been having the fish on before I put this rod back out there. It's fairly simple. You'll have all seen one before, but it's not something that I use much in my fishing, but I am starting to come around to them as much as everyone else, and that's a version of the Ronnie rig. This is with £30 Fox Illusion as the boom. The fluorocarbon just disappears. It's really nice, fairly stiff, but it still will sit over something without sticking up like a poker, like the old Amnesia hook links would do. In the middle I've just got a bit of putty just to help kick everything away and pin it down. Then we've got the standard quick chain swivel, and then this is a size 6 barbless Fox medium curve hook. Then a little rig ring swivel and stop, and that is a pineapple and butric wafter from NutriBase, and it is a wafter. I do like this rig on the bottom as well as a pop-up. I have had a couple of the fish on pop-ups as well, All of them have been coming to the yellow, so I've swapped all rods over to yellow now. That pineapple and embryo rig probably over the sweet corn seems to be picking them out a lot quicker than the other colours were. So yeah, it's a really simple Ronnie rig, nothing fancy. That will just attach to standard leg clip setup on a short section of leader. The limit is up to 1 metre on here on leg clips, and that's a little quick change sleeve. It just goes over the top just to neaten everything off. So yeah, it's a really simple setup. It's been having the fish so far. I've only dropped one, and that was probably because it's a smaller fish, and a 6 is probably fairly big, I suppose, for a smaller fish. So yeah, get this one back out there and see if we can get number 7. Alright, so I just thought I'd go into a bit of detail about the bait that I'm using on this session over at Norton Disney. It's quite a thick spod mix. It's really grim. I don't really want to grab hold of it. It's really sloppy. The base of it is, as I've been using a lot recently, the Trigger Pineapple and Embryo from NutriBaits. It's a really nice boily. Carp just came out with Trigger, they love it. It's as old as the sun, it's ancient bait, but it still absolutely kills places. To that, I soaked it for 24 hours before I came in a liquid liver. Absolutely stinks and goes really gloopy, but it just kicks off so much attraction in the water. It clouds up and it absolutely stinks. And to that, once I got here, I mixed in a full bag of the Trigger carpet feed, just to make it like really coated, and it really clouds up the water just to try and draw fish in, trying to replicate them feeding on the bottom with the cloud. So I keep putting some spods in every couple of hours just to try and draw fish in. And then obviously, being new fish, young fish, has to be sweet corn. Love using sweet corn at the moment. Been using it quite a bit on the day tickets that I've been going to, and carp everywhere just love sweet corn. You can't go wrong with it. The visual attraction, plus they just love it. It's the only particle you're allowed to use over here is sweet corn at maize. Other particles are banned this time of year. And that brings me on to the other thing that I'm spotting out that I haven't actually added to this mix, and that is the Fisheries Own brand pellets. They just come in a 5k sack. They sell them here on site, and it's what they've been feeding the fish on here since day one. This being a lake that's only just opened, I've probably seen tons and tons of this going in here, plus what they've been fed at the fish farms. So it's a no-brainer to put this out there. I don't want to mix it in with my other spod because I don't want it to break down in the bucket. I want these to go out whole as they are and break down on the bottom once they're out there. So I've been spodding this out. As you can see, I've nearly gone through the bag of it. I'll probably pop down to the tackle van later on and grab another bag, because they clearly like it in here. I imagine they must see so much of it. I think everyone that comes here probably buys a bag of it as well, let alone the supplementary feed that they're putting in here with it at the moment as well anyway. So yeah, that's just a bit of detail about the mix that I'm using. Seems to be getting us a few bites at the moment. Still a bit hard going, but fingers crossed we'll have another fish to show you soon. Alright, good morning. You join me after another quite eventful night. It really dropped temperature last night. I'm all wrapped up. It got down a lot colder than I was expecting to, but we managed a few bites. I had 2 more during the nights. I also lost one which coated through all my rods and wiped out everything, so I had to do all my rods at 3 o'clock in the morning, which was a right pain for not even landing the fish. And now it's about 7 in the morning and we've got fish number 9. It's a lovely looking scalia, almost linear. We had another linear in the night, that was lovely. Little one, but this is a little bit bigger. This one gave me the right run around. Hooked away one of my other rods again. Gone all through the last 8 fish without hooking the around any of my other lines, and the last 2. There we go. A bit bigger this one. They're about 14 odd, I would have thought. They grow on to become a beast in here, I'm sure, one day. Alright, check out the other side. Nice morning soaking before the drive home. I've got to be off by 11. I put the rods back out. I'm just going to top it up with just 1 or 2 spots just to see if I can nick another bite before we go. There we go. Let's see if we can slip this back and see if we can break double figures and get 10. Right, there we go, fish number 10. That didn't take too long after getting the rods back out. I put a couple of spods just over the top, just 2. So I'm going in a little while. I didn't want to put too much bait out there again, but just wanted to put a couple out there to try and draw them in. And here we go. Oh, this one's super lively. There we go, fish number 10. Nice number. I'm going to flick the rod back out while I pack down again. I won't put any more bait out there. Crazy lively, I don't know why. Came in fairly easy, that's probably why. Spin around, show you the other side anyway, she's down. It's nice to get extra wet before you go home, brilliant. Love it. Right, behave. There we go, as saying, flick the rod back out again before we go home and pack down, but you never know, you might be able to sneak another one. The other rod's still out there and this one will be again soon. But yeah, lovely. Slip it back and get that rod back out there. Right, so that didn't take long again. Number 11 from the right hand rod this time. Same spot and another lovely one. Beautiful coloured tails again. There we go. Another clean fish. Got one of the rods back out on the spot. Not going to put any more bait out because I haven't got long left now, so just while I pack down, put the other rod back out in a minute. We'll see if we can nick one more before we have to go. There. It's been a fun session. Right, slip it back and get the rods back out. Alright, so that really didn't take long. That rod was in the water a matter of minutes, literally, and it's ripped away again. No rods in the water, but a very angry carp in the mat. There we go. Number 12. It's really picked up this morning since the wind's changed around. The fish really seem to be on it. I haven't topped any more bait up, just trying to nick a few before we go. But yeah, another lovely fish. Beautiful scales on it. Got a serious frame on some of these fish. They're going to get massive in here, especially when they start to see a bit more bait when all the swims open up again. There you go. Right, let's try and get some rods back in the water. Alright, so here we go, last knockings. Fish number 13, lucky for some. Here we go. Came from the right hand rod. Little yellow pop up. Here we go. Another clean looking fish. Beautifully clean mouths. Let's hope they stay that way. Have a look at the other side. Might well be the last one. Rod won't be going back out now, so just last chance to lay in with one more while I get the bivvy down, and a nice long drive back home. Right, slip it back and start packing away. Right, there we go, we're all packed up. 13 fish in total, which was real good fun. I haven't had a session of like hitting smaller fish for quite a long time, so it's nice to get a bend in the rod. It's been really nice here at Norton Disney. Definitely be back here once all the swims are open on all the lakes in the spring. have a crack at one of the other lakes. If you haven't been here, it's definitely worth checking out. It's a brilliantly run lake. Everyone that I've talked to has been really friendly, and they can't do enough for you here, so definitely give it a check out if you haven't been here already. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe. There's plenty of videos coming up, along with I've got a trip to Manor at Linear Fisheries coming up at the end of the month, which I'll be filming as well, and probably do a session on Oxleys while I'm down there if I can get on there. So yeah, there's lots to look forward to coming up in the next few months over winter. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.